Hi, beautiful Capricorn, and welcome to our July 2021 reading. We're jumping right into the heart of Cancer season, your opposing sign, a time of new perspective, new ways of seeing how you're moving through the world, new ways of kind of getting a sense of who you've become over the last 6 months since we were in Capricorn season. Since things have kind of shifted around, when I think about the last 6 months, we've been easing off all of that energy that was in Capricorn for so long, right? And there's been kind of this new way of doing things. We've all been trying to find our footing in that. How has that been feeling for you? We're now just working with Pluto in your sign. How is that feeling for you? Are you having new insights? Has the last 6 months brought about some different ways of working with your own magic, working with your own life? Here's the thing that I got this really excited hit from Capricorn energy when I sat down to kind of feel through your energy here before I got on today. And I noticed there's this excited, kind of warm, bubbly, adventurous energy, like that feeling when you can hear water running around a corner. If you imagine yourself out on a long expedition and you've been walking and it's been the same for a long time, and suddenly you hear waves crashing on the shore, or you hear a trickle of a stream, and it's really exciting, to meet with water again. And it's coming, but you can't quite see it, but you feel excited. It's kind of a wave of energy like that July is bringing to me for Capricorn. Kind of this excitement of there being new ways of doing things, things suddenly moving that maybe weren't moving very well before or over the last couple of months, or things that remained a mystery for a long time and then are suddenly happening, which can be a little overwhelming. You just get used to waiting, and then you're like, wait, I'm doing things now? What is happening? That's kind of what I get the sense of. This is an interesting time of year for Capricorns no matter what, because we're moving through Cancer season. We have the sun moving through Cancer season. The first 3 weeks of this month, we have Mercury moving through Cancer. We have a new moon in Cancer, right? All this energy that's helping you kind of see yourself from a new vantage point. Now, this energy is also great for you because it's going to amplify deep connection. It's going to amplify partnership. It's going to amplify love and romance. So if you are somebody who's wanting to deepen connections or meet somebody, this energy can really amp that up big time. And it also just helps us understand ourselves and feel more whole in ourselves when we're working with opposing energy like that. We also, though, it's an interesting month. It's got some different things because you also have energy pouring into Leo. The sun will eventually move into Leo. Venus is moving through Leo a good chunk of the month. Mercury is moving into Leo at the end of the month. So we're starting to work with 8th house energy for you this month in the sign of Leo, which is the sign of transformation and is the sign of skin shedding. It's a sign that is tied to us getting to know our newest version of ourselves and helping us give birth to it. And so I often find it's very helpful to work with 8th house energy because it will help us get to our truest answers for what we want next, right? It will help us get to the bedrock of what it is we're really asking for, not sometimes all the fluffy, confusing things that we put on our vision board, but the really true kernels of wisdom at the heart, the pit, the pulp, the pit of the peach, right? The pit of the cherry, that very center point. And so for me, July is this really clarifying month for Capricorn where answers are coming in hot and fast. The full moon this month as well is in Aquarius, your neighboring sign, and this is in your 2nd house of self-love, value, your own value of self, and that ties to how we connect to money energy, to self-love energy, to worthiness energy. So this is a really powerful full moon as well. Generally, this month is very supportive for people to get clear on what it is they are really, truly here for. And we're not even talking about purpose. Sometimes people like to talk about purpose. I have this one purpose. I'm going to write this book. I'm going to be this speaker. I'm going to do this specific healing modality. And if you're somebody like that, no shade at all. But I think of why we're here. It's in terms of, I think, maybe more esoteric thing, coming back to a truth about kindness and softness and helping each other out and being at peace, you know, these kinds of things bring us back home. And therefore then we can say, oh, I do really want to write poetry. Oh, I really do want to, you know, start that new business. Those bring us back to a truer place than all the other, you know, oh, I got to hustle. I got to be on top of my game. I've got to find this purpose and be really good at it and be the best at it and be competitive with it. And it takes all of those pressures away so that we can really hear ourselves. I'm using the Animal Totem Tarot for this month's readings. The entire reading is going to be an Animal Totem Tarot because I love this deck and I think the symbolism here is really, really helpful. 7 of Pentacles, the elk. Very review-based energy, right? The Hierophant, the polar bear. Deep inner guidance. Queen of Swords. It's the wolf. And the Emperor. Wow. Okay. You can kind of see we have these we have 3 very leadership focused cards, you know. Hierophant, Queen of Swords, and the Emperor, the gorilla, the silverback. These are very strong energies, very honest energies. These are energies that lead us forward. And these also are energies that pull us into the spotlight often and kind of have us step fully into our true power, which is not power over others, it's not power over resources, it's power in our calm, power in our centeredness, power in our ability to feel soft and relaxed. That's true power. That's true magnetism, right? And so there is a stillness with that. So it's really interesting to see this coming up. But like I said, there's those like whiffs of big adventure coming in July. It's like, I don't know if it's going to happen specifically in July, like that, you know, everything's going to happen all at once. It might start to happen, but it's almost like July is this really ripe fruit and you're just like, it's getting that perfect point where you can pick it and you can just feel it coming towards you. Like, aren't you getting those tingly feelings? And that's really what July is about. And just enjoying that, enjoying the anticipation of knowing all these things are coming. Now we have the 7 of Pentacles. And there's a strong message here of looking back, looking over, recognizing what we've amassed, what we've learned, how we've grown, how we've changed, recognizing what we no longer need to keep doing, right? And I talk about that a lot with Capricorn because I feel like you all kind of force yourself to keep going on something. You know, you commit to something, you make sure it's going to work, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you're so exhausted, you know, by the end of that it's hard to see straight. Like, it's important that we take those assessment times and remember we don't have to do everything. And, you know, I found this to be true with even really simple things that, like, I think in my mind are not a big deal because they take maybe an hour out of my week. This shouldn't affect the rest of my schedule. It shouldn't affect the rest of my energy. But as I've said before, you can't selectively shut down your energy. When you shut down and kind of betray yourself, even on something small, it will affect the rest of your energy. It will make you feel more tired. It will make you feel more irritable. It will make you feel like you can't do things. It'll make you feel like you never have time. Like, these are the things we want to really assess when we have 7 of Pentacles here, because even if it's small and simple, all the more reason to shift it and not to tell yourself the story that you have to keep doing things the same way, because what will happen if you stop doing it the same exact way? 7 of Pentacles is saying, no, because you got to make room for all this here. This is very, very potent energy. Let's talk about Hierophant. Hierophant is a teacher. He's a leader. He's connected to spiritual wisdom, spiritual knowing from kind of like beyond the usual typical world. Now, often, you know, with the Hierophant, it's tied to kind of the hierarchy of there's a chosen one who gets his information. But the way that I like to work with Hierophant energy is that we are each capable of stepping into that role of listening to that esoteric wisdom. We can learn from the unseen. We can learn from the hidden universe. We can learn from the things that are unfamiliar to us. So you're being asked to tap into wisdom that you are just now learning. You are being asked to tap into your greater faith in yourself, in being connected to something much bigger than yourself, and having that show you the way to move forward. So it's very important when you're getting things like Seven of Pentacles and Hierophant. Yes, these are about where you feel secure, but what you're also being asked to is find your security in meditation, in breathing deeply, in really committing deeply to the practice of feeling worthy of the beautiful things coming to you, period. There can be no exceptions. So there is a really strong energy telling me that you got to get in alignment with that, and just make sure you go check in with that process. Go make sure you check in with the Hierophant every day. And I love this deck with the polar bear, because the polar bear has this wisdom, right, of his extreme environment that, you know, is disappearing. But he has this knowledge of this whole world, and he's connected to like the natural world and the way the world works in a way that many other beings aren't. And there is this hidden knowledge symbolically that comes with areas of the world that very few others live in. And it's a place that we go when we let ourselves hear our soul song. So, you know, I'm all about the soul song. Now, here's the thing. When you lean back into committing completely to your spiritual wellness, and I just mean that in very simple terms, you know, journal, ask yourself questions, witness yourself with compassion, meditate a little bit, go for a walk, you know, sign up for a class that really feeds your soul, read books that really feed your soul, you turn off the trauma TV or the trauma podcast and do something that feeds your soul, right? Like, it's very simple. I'm not asking, you know, you to turn your whole life over. I just want you to commit a little bit each day to making sure you're doing something that feels really good for you. That's activating this leadership energy. Queen of Swords and the Emperor. Now, these are energies of somebody who's stepping into their biggest shoes yet. And, you know, it's interesting. I think both of these animals are about like deep honesty, right? Like, the honesty is that, like, if you want to live like your truest life, you have to be true to yourself. You have to be willing to be honest with yourself, and you have to be willing to be honest in general in your life, right? And I think we think of honesty sometimes when somebody says that as being like suddenly running around being this really blunt, rude person. And I don't know. I think Capricorns are pretty good about being honest in general. It doesn't seem to be a big issue with you guys. I've learned that you guys can be quite blunt. You all can be quite blunt when you want. But I think honesty for me, it's like integrity in the way you do things, right? As well as telling your partner or your friends like what you need. It's also like when we don't lie to ourselves, when we don't force ourselves to be doing the same routine even when it hurts, when we don't force ourselves to stay small even when we want to be big, when we don't force ourselves to shut down even when we want to open up. The Queen of Swords and the Hierophant, or the Emperor, are asking for you to just go on this adventure. They each do something. Queen of Swords cuts away what's no longer serving. She's very honest about looking at what is not working and just what would happen if I let that go? What would happen if I put that pack down? And the Emperor is about putting your head up, putting your shoulders back, and with total confidence, owning your path. And here's the deal with all of this. You got to own your path. With joy, with self-love, with softness, with kindness. It doesn't need to be about pomposity or force. Calm, centered, self-loving, joyful, easygoing energy is the most magnetic energy that we have in this world. And it's so often forgotten because we've been taught that it's these other things. But whenever you're around somebody, you know, if you ever have like a friend or an acquaintance or somebody, or you even go to see a performer and they have that really calm, centered, clear energy, don't you just gravitate to them? You just want to be around that. So you are being asked to activate this centered, clear, passionate energy. You are channeling something huge. You are preparing for a big adventure. And yes, that means clearing out some clutter. Seven of Pentacles and Queen of Swords are saying, you know, get it cleared out, make the space. Even practically, you know, like I often find that when I'm feeling that kind of butterfly, prepare energy, it's like clean out those extra drawers, you know, get rid of the junk, dust the cobwebs out of the corner of your house, open the doors, let some fresh air in. Clear your calendar where you can, get down to the minimum and see what wants to pour in. That is what July is all about. It's like simplify to amplify is the whole message for Capricorn, because it's going to get exciting. I think as we move through August and September, you're going to see how these pieces start to play together. You're going to see how that relationship, that new job, that new creative outlet is going to start to come together and really start to make sense. But we're just at the tip of the iceberg here in July. Enjoy it though. This is a really spiritual month. I love Cancerian energy personally to work with because it is spiritual upgrade every time. And with Leo energy as well, it's creative upgrade every time. So we're working with really potent archetypes here, really potent energies. Keep rolling with it. Keep doing the practices too. Like I said, this is a month of commitment for Capricorn and I really like it. So just commit to keep showing up and really good things are going to come from that. I would love to see you on my Patreon. We're going to be activating so many things over there. We're going to be going through these big moons coming up, how to work with all this energy moving through Cancer and Leo and Virgo, how to work with Jupiter moving back into Aquarius, which I didn't even bring up, but will be happening at the end of the month. So I'd love to see you there. You can also find me on my website and my Instagram. I'll leave all my links right below in the description. You can find PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry on her Etsy shop as well. I'm sending you my love, Capricorn. Take really good care of yourselves, and I will see you in August for more of this amazing adventure ahead. I love you guys.